Morning, Liz. Oh, are you there yet? Still says you're connecting. There
Good
you are.
morning.
Good morning,
How
Liz.
are you? Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm in my office, so I will be listening in primarily this morning, but very curious to see what you're going to be doing.
I love it. Love
How are
it.
you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Um,
New
I
grandbaby and everybody doing fine? Family's doing fine back in Florida?
husband is leaving tomorrow or the next day, I think.
hmm
I'll see him in a couple, 5 days or so. Um, and then we'll see some family and all that. The cool thing is I am 1,000% caught up and moving forward with the things that I want to do in my business, which is really awesome. I
Trying
mean,
to get there.
it was a very long haul for me, and
hmm
I had to get pissed off basically at
hmm
life and what was going on, and just get tired of I just had to get pissed off, and I don't know why I have to get to a place, why I chose to let myself get to a place of pissed off before I did anything, but that's what I did. And so not real proud of that. And it's
But
okay,
it worked.
but it got me there. And I think the goal is next time to be more aware of the physical feelings that I'm feeling, because those are the clue to examine what is going on in my life so that I can make the changes proactively. So
Yes.
yeah, I think that's
I've been learning to do the same because I'm in the same spot. I'm like, I'm so tired of this old routine. I
Mhm.
need to get this noise off my plate, simplify
Mhm.
things, and get down to what I want to be doing and need to be doing instead. And so, like, even being in the office here, I'm
Mhm.
like over it. I am, and I'm so over it. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know why I have to get into this state of complete anger
Mhm.
with the situation before I say, okay, I need to make a change. So I came in this morning. I'm in this morning. I get in early. No one's usually here, and they're just coming in now, which is why I had to quiet down a bit
Mhm.
and get out, mute soon. But I literally just said, okay, what am I doing here? I just kind of data dumped a lot of stuff out of my head. What am I
Mhm.
doing here? What do I want to be doing? What do I need to do to start making it? Kind of like you did with that lead generation breakdown the other day,
Yeah.
which was very beneficial, which I started. And I'm like, okay, now I just need to calendar it and get this going because me thinking about it isn't getting it done. And it's
Right.
not getting me any closer to getting out of the situation that I'm currently in. So I'm with you all the way, 110%. Hi, Justin. How are you? Good. Hold on just a sec.
Yep. Good morning, Laura. You're dark if you know. You're dark if you don't know too.
Thank you. I didn't know. Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning. Good morning, Craig. How are you? I can see Craig. I can see him looking at us. I can see him pushing buttons. I can see him doing stuff, but nothing's working yet. There it is. Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm really good. I am really, really good. Y'all look
Good.
beautiful this morning. It's good to see your like gorgeous faces on my Friday. So thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you as well.
Thank you. All right, let's dig in because it's Friday and I want to dig straight in. So I've got Liz who can't really talk very much, and I got two people driving. That's totally cool because I'll graph everything out. I'll graph it out on paper and then I'll graph it out. I'm debating throwing it onto maybe an Excel spreadsheet while we're talking. So I might work on that while you guys are talking too. But who wants to dig in and kind of examine and look for sort of patterns and things that are going on in their life? Who wants to dig into that? I got crickets.
Oh, I guess I'll do it. I was going to be like, Craig, you want to do it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay, so hang on. Out of the two of you, who's doing it? Craig or Laura? Either one's fine.
Craig.
Craig's doing it. Craig, you cool with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, all you got to do is think. That's it. Okay, and well, you got to talk a little bit, but all you got to do is think.
That may be hard.
So
I don't know how well I can do that.
trust me, it's your life. You're fine. Okay, I want you to take me from so what I'm going to talk to you about is I want you to think about the different events in your life, like the big, huge events in your life, not the little teeny tiny stuff, the big things. And I want to take you from whatever the first event was after high school graduation, whatever that was. And I just want to kind of plot it through. So in your life, what was the first event after high school graduation that was like good or bad, doesn't matter, either side, but that was kind of like, this was a big deal. This was like a big thing.
Went in the military,
What year did you go to the military?
1990.
90, military. Okay. Was it good or bad? High or low, actually? Let's go with that. High or low?
I would say high.
Okay. What'd you learn?
I learned how to be independent.
Beautiful. Okay. What was the next one? After going into the military in 90, what was it?
Probably my daughter being born.
What year?
97.
High or low?
Oh, high.
What'd you learn?
How to love someone other than myself.
God, I love that. What's the next one?
Being homeless.
What year was that?
99.
Okay. What'd you learn out of, or high or low?
Oh, that was low.
What'd you learn out of that?
I learned that I could survive.
Love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you're brave and wonderful and you do good work. And I mean like sojourner work, good work. Okay, next one.
Graduated computer school.
Okay. And what year was that?
2000.
High or low?
High.
What'd you learn?
That no matter how old I was, I could still learn.
Love it. Next one.
Let's see. What was next? Oh, moving back home, South Carolina.
Okay, high or low?
That was low.
What year was
Wasn't
that?
looking forward to it.
What year was that?
That was 2001.
What'd you learn?
I learned that it's not that bad to start over.
Tell me that one again. What'd you learn?
It's not that bad to have to start over.
Got it. All right. Next event.
Started my own business,
What year?
2004.
High or low?
High.
What'd you learn?
Wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.
What's your next one?
My son was born
Year?
2007.
High or low?
High.
What'd you learn?
Had someone else to live for.
All right, next.
Got my real estate license.
High or low?
High.
Year?
2007.
What'd you learn?
I learned that I could accomplish some things. some of my dreams.
Beautiful. Next,
First closing,
year,
2008.
high or low?
High.
What'd you learn?
Wasn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be.
Copy that. All right. next.
You know what? I forgot my marriage.
What year? Did Craig freeze on us? All right, well, we'll wait for Craig to unfreeze because I can't really jump to anybody else doing this. It's gotta be Craig.
Okay.
There we go.
So,
Hang on. You froze on us, sweetie. What year was your marriage?
that was 2006.
2006, marriage, high or low?
That was high.
What'd you learn?
Someone actually loved me enough to marry me.
Aw. All right, next one after your first closing.
Let's see. Depression.
And what year was that?
Like 2012, I believe. 12,
Okay.
13.
High or low?
Very low.
Very low. Got it. And what'd you learn?
I learned that I wasn't alone.
Amen. And next one.
Huh. I joined EXP Realty.
Year?
2016, I believe it was.
High or low?
High.
What'd you learn?
That it was a different way to do business, new and innovative company.
Next one?
Um,
And then you tell me when we're done.
okay. Next one. I would say coming back to EXP Realty.
Year?
2020, I believe it was.
High or low?
Yeah. High.
What'd you learn?
The grass wasn't greener on the other side.
Morning, how are you?
All right. Is there another one?
Good.
I think that's it.
Okay. So first off, I want to tell you a little bit of what I echoed earlier, what the brave work that you have done in your life. I appreciate, and the fact that you are doing brave work still today, that you are willing to open up, because a lot of us have been through a lot of this stuff also, and people don't talk about it, and they certainly don't talk about it as openly as you do. And oftentimes also when they do, they talk about it from a victim standpoint, and you don't at all. There's not an ounce of any of that came out in any of this story. I just see an incredible man that I am really blessed to get to know, and work with, and know on another level also, because you are a real human being. And I appreciate that hugely, Craig. I really do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to try and see if I can graph this out on a crappy whiteboard, which I don't know if I can or not, but we're going to start down here. Will it let me type? Typing. Okay, let's see if it will let me type. Oh, cool. Actually, will let me type. So we're going to start with night. Actually, I don't know if I can do this. Can you guys see this whiteboard?
Yes.
Okay, cool beans. So I'm going to get rid of the typing thing, and I'm just going to draw. Okay, so I'm gonna start with 1990. Well, I can draw. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, I'm gonna do it on paper because this is not going to work. I'm gonna stop sharing. Where is stop share? Share screen. I don't want to share screen anymore. I want to stop sharing. Oh my goodness gracious. Export, leave feedback, move to trash. I moved to trash.
No, there you
Oh,
go.
cool. Awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna graph this out on paper. And then I'll show you get the paper because that's all the closer I can get to this. Okay, 90 through to 2020. 2020. Okay, so 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, doesn't quite fit on the piece of paper. I need to start over on a piece of paper. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to graph out your life. And when the first person did this to me, it blew me away what my life actually looked like. And I saw patterns I had never seen before. 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And if I had thought ahead of time, I would have prepared this. 18, 19, 20, and that's where we ended up. Okay, so 90, high. And that's military. 97. Continue on to high. 99, low. 2000, high. 2001, low. 2004, back up again. 2006, 7, 8 to 12, out to 8, down to 12. Super low on that one. And then back up again and staying high through 2020. Okay, that's gonna graph you. You look like this. This is your
Okay,
life from 1990 to 2020. So looking backwards because my screen's backwards, but that's your life. So when you look at this, the things that show me is the thing that pops out is when you have your lows, you have a low and then you pull right back out of it again. Your lows don't stay low. Up here, you have a whole bunch of highs that hit and a whole bunch of highs that hit and a whole bunch of highs that hit. And then you have this dip and then you come right back out of it again. That's what your graph is. Everybody's graph looks completely different. It's just really interesting to look at a graph and go, oh, that's what the pattern is in their life. So for you, there's like 9 years and a dip, back up and back down again, and then another 10 years and a dip, and then right back up again, and now you're flatlining back up again. So your dips that you have were low, but they're like long periods apart. You don't have a pattern of doing this.
gotcha.
You don't have that. For me, what I saw in mine with jobs, when I did mine and I put jobs in there, I found a 3-year pattern and it blew me away. Like it blew me away. Like every 3 years I'd move. Every 3 years. I was like, crap. And so once I saw that pattern and I could recognize kind of what was going on in my life, then I could, like going into this job, because I know I'm a 3-year. I love startups. I love startups because I work really hard and then I burn myself out and then I'm dead after 3 years. And so going into this, I'm like, you're going to, because I want to stay with, I love Gary. He's good people. And I finally found a home with really good people. So I want to stay here, which means I need to reinvent something every 3 years. Because after about 2-ish, I will get bored. I'll get really bored if I don't reinvent. So for me and my patterns, what I did was when I started, I knew it would take me a couple years to get through burning through the whole nation, doing it the cold texting way. And I wanted to do it first to see whatever low hanging fruit I could pull out of there. But I also knew I was going to have to reinvent and go another direction, which is what we're in the process of building out right now. We're building out the YouTube and the marketing part of it and the funnels and all that kind of stuff. And I'm really excited because it's completely new, but it's still here. So for me and my pattern, that was really important, was to stay here and build, but to reinvent it every 3 years and to look like something different. Hence success coaching. That's just another thing that we can do and bring in, but staying here. For you, so that's one of the things, is look for the patterns. How high are the highs, how low are the lows? You have some severe lows in there. I do too in mine. Like when I go down, it goes down. It's not pretty. And then to really look at the messages and to see what kind of the trajectory and the message in my life has been. And so for you on that side, independent, love someone other than self, learn how to survive. I was learned that I could still learn, even though I was old, I could still learn. It's not that bad starting over. It wasn't as easy as I thought. Someone loved me enough to marry me and someone else to live for, and I can accomplish my dreams. And it wasn't as easy as I thought, and I wasn't alone. And there's a different way to do business, and the grass is not greener.
Yep.
Yeah, that's you. That's
Wow.
you. I know.
Never
Isn't-
thought of it like that.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Eye opening.
go on. It's your turn. You talk.
I was just saying it's eye opening. You know, you said that I don't you know, I'm not the victim.
Mm-mm.
So, and that took a lot of work, you know. So one of the things when I moved back home, you know, I was kind of depressed about moving back, having to come back, you know, after being away. And I found this website called man, what was it? It was called the power of positivity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I never forgot it. You know, I went on and I just kept reading that, going on and reading. And you know, I knew I needed to change my way of thinking. You know, now sometimes I beat myself up in private, but I don't make excuses to anybody else.
Mm-mm.
You know, if I didn't do something, I just say, you know, I didn't do it. I don't say the dog ate my paper.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I just, you know, hey, no excuse. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, just trying to be accountable to myself.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And isn't it kind of feel weird? Because I've done it to people also. I've called them up and I've gone, look, I didn't do this. And I don't even make any excuses. I don't offer anything because
Yeah.
I could go, you know, this happened or that happened, but it's just crap. I didn't do it. Bottom line. And I think people on the other side, I appreciate it because I do that as well. I think some people are uncomfortable with it, and that's okay. That's their gig. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to make excuses to be like other people so that you feel comfortable socially in this situation. I would rather have the uncomfortableness, which is my uncomfortableness also, not in socially in, I said I was going to do something and didn't do it. Like, that sucks. I don't like being there, you know, and I'll rather have that sit than some social construct of, you know, I want you to feel better. You don't feel bad. I didn't do the damn thing. So yeah, I like that. I really do. You know, you remind me of something that was said yesterday. There's a group I belong to. It's called Groundswell. Matter of fact, Chris Angel, the guy who's doing the podcast, he's the guy
Yeah,
who's
I
doing
missed it
Groundswell.
actually because it went to my spam. So I have to catch the next one next week.
Yeah, the one next week. So I didn't go either because I forget what was going on. I don't know, I had a meeting or something. Anyway, and I told him, I'm like, look, I can't hit these, but I work with him in Groundswell. And so he's got different groups of like a group for coaches. There's a group for real estate agents. I'm looking at, maybe I might build out one. I don't know. Anyway, I love him. And somebody said this in our group yesterday. They said, almost every single person that's uber successful at some point had to say, I had to be willing to risk it all and throw it all away and bet on myself. And at the on the one side, I instantly was like, ugh, because it's not that you have to lose it all. but you have to be willing sometimes in your life to lose everything in order to stand for yourself, to do the thing that you know or that you know that you should be doing, and bet on yourself. Like, you got to bet on yourself. And my first thought is, oh my God, I think that's the bravest thing that anyone could ever do. That's my first thought. And then after I had my initial, I thought, wait, I think that might be one of the safest things you could ever do, because you don't have to depend upon anybody else to do their side. You just got to do yours.
Yeah.
And we're totally equipped to do whatever it is, whatever we're facing, we're equipped to do. We just are. We might not know it. And that doesn't mean we have to do it on our own either. It might be that our lesson is to learn community and to gather community and to plow through it together. But, and I don't know, because everybody's different, going through different stuff. But I think it's very brave to face it. And I think that there's no place safer to be than to be able to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to bet on myself.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Betting on yourself is the tough part.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's easy to bet on someone else,
Isn't that weird?
especially if you're a gambler, it's easy. But
Yeah.
to bet on yourself, man, that's tough.
That's brave work.
Yeah,
Really brave work.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
admire the people that's outwardly confident.
Mhm.
Some people say that they're egotistical or they're
There's a difference.
yeah, absolutely.
There's a
I-
big difference.
Yeah, I like their confidence.
I'm attracted to it too. And I don't know if that is because I am naturally attracted to power and confidence. Like, I think, and competence also, that one also, like, I can't tell you, I think intelligence, competence, and confidence and power are like the sexiest things on planet Earth. Like, you could probably look like a muskrat, but if you exude those things, I'd be like, no, you're sexy. There's just something about it that I really
Yeah.
don't know if it's me personally or if it's a humankind thing that we're just attracted to confidence,
I
And
think they give off a certain aura.
yeah, not cockiness.
Yeah,
And that's, for me, that's the difference. There's a confidence that, that can have kind of a little bit of a swagger, like, a little bit, but there's also, I don't know, there's just I can sense it. It's like, no, these are a step too far. That's a step too far and it's gross, and that's disgusting. So yeah. And I think that what the word, Craig, do you know what the word confidence means in Latin?
no,
Con, with, fidens, fidelity, faith. Confidence means with faith.
wow,
Isn't that cool?
makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I believe, this is just my belief personally, I believe that the bravest, most truest, surest thing you can do is bet on yourself, possibly the safest, definitely the bravest and most truest. And I also believe that I am not alone and that I have that. So I have the with faith. I have the with faith part. And it doesn't, I don't want to take my life and separate it into two things of things I do with God and things I don't do with God. I don't want to do that. But I do want to do things where I bet on myself and it's God and I together and we go do it. And that I can stand on with faith all day long, even if it scares the hell out of me. And it does sometimes. So,
yeah.
yeah. Cool. I can't thank you enough for being willing to share your life with us.
No problem. It's nothing. Nah, just
Thank you, Craig.
thank you for listening.
Yeah. I would like to echo that you are very lovable. You are very valuable. You have so much self-worth. Kay came in at the tail end. Too bad. You have so much value and self-worth. And if you, and the reason why this interests me and why I want to echo this is because one, I can see it in here. And two, that is the work that I'm working on for the book that I'm working on writing and the class that I'm working on writing. It all centers around on that. And you have massive to give. And the very fact that you give and give things like this shows me your part, an intrinsic part of your value and worth. I mean, you are just because you're a human being and human beings are valuable and worthy and all those kinds of things. But you have extra because you're willing to share with us. And that's really cool.
So the only thing is like I have a problem turning that into business. You know, I know I have these qualities, but when it comes to you know, business, getting clients and things of that sort, I tend not to do it. I mean, I'll let people see who I am, but then you know, on the business end, I don't get the business a lot of times that I would like, or I don't go for the business that I would like.
And the reason why you don't go for it, the thing that holds you back is,
I guess it's fear.
And
Yeah.
it is. And then underneath the fear, if you dug down underneath that is,
not being confident at that time, or feeling competent.
And underneath and this is exactly why I'm writing a book right now on this subject. And it's universal, by the way. This is the same thing Kay talked about last week. It's the same thing that we're all bumping up against. It's the same conversation. Underneath the not feeling competent and confident, underneath those, do you know what that is?
Self-worth.
Yes. Yep. Good job. Good work going down. And the thing that I'm learning, I'm exactly there. I'm exactly there. I know Kay's there. She talked about it. Everybody else raised their hand too. We're all there. Every single one of us is there. And it's a conversation that every time I open this door and start talking about it, everybody is like, oh, this is exactly what's been going through my head. And I don't know if it's all running through this undercurrent is just because of the time. I don't know if this is dredged up because we just spent, 2 or 3 years going through isolation and COVID and assessing our lives. All I know is that this work, this identity work, that's what I'm calling it, is identity work. I decided to walk into 8-10 weeks ago, something like that. I decided to walk into this work. And it's the first time in my life that I've ever walked into this work without a reason to walk into it. Like I had one year that I got a foot operation, so I was in a boot, so I couldn't do anything. And then as soon as I got out of the boot, I broke my other foot, so I was in another boot. So I was decommissioned for like 4 months one year, and it messed with my head because I couldn't do stuff. And if I can't do, then because I'm not a human being, I'm a human doing, a human doing, and that's on my value and worth. Because if I'm just, I coined it the ER life. If I'm just bigger, better, stronger, faster, smarter, all the ers, then people will love me. And if I can't do anything because my foot's in a flipping boot again, then what value do I have? And so I've worked on it a little bit in my life. Whenever anything like that has happened to me, I've had lots of that crap happen to me. But this one, I was like, oh no, I'm just going to head into it because there's something there. So I've been heading into it. And I can't tell you that the work is fun. It's not. I can tell you it's worthwhile. I can also tell you that the key for me is saying the affirmations and the phrases and everything felt like they felt outside. They didn't feel like they got internal. I can't say that that's not good work also, because that led me to walking into this to figure out what this is. There's some keys here that I'm still working on, trying to figure out, and then trying to get it built into the Class for Success magazine. And then from there, built into the book that I want to do. What I can tell you is it feels for me like a lot of stripping off layers and clothing. And so the things that I've identified so far in what I've been figuring out and working on is our identities we have identities around our work. So I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor. So there's that. And then there's occupational identities, we have those, but that's not real identity. And then underneath that, we have sort of relational identities. I'm a teacher, I'm a sister, I'm a brother, I'm a mother, I'm a father. We have relational identities. We also have racial, national, age, situational. I might be one person at work and a different person at home, or with this group or that group, especially younger people. We have identities around, socioeconomical. I make X amount of money and I'm in this bracket. We have all those identities, but that's not real who we really are. And it's a stripping all the way down. And then once I stripped all the way down, I came up with, I am enough. That's it. I just came up with, I am enough. And then once you strip it all down, then the work is to reconstruct something completely different. But when you're going through the process, you're willing to throw everything away because you start looking around and going, okay, do I even care about this shit at all around me? Do I even care? And what do I really care about? And then what do I want to build to make my life look like? So that's just the process that I'm working through personally. But underneath it, the thing that I'm trying to impart and work on with us is that we do have answers inside of us. We do have enough knowledge and wisdom and years and all those things. You learned that you can accomplish your dreams. It wasn't as easy as you thought. And you weren't alone. Other people love you because you're worthy and valuable. This journey that you're on, it's the same journey that all of us are on. We're all on it. And I'm here to tell you that if you just choose to walk into it, it's again, it's not pleasant. It's not fun. It's not going to be as easy as you think. But at the end, I do remember I'm going back to, I am enough. I do have the answers inside of me. All I need is to make sure that I carve into my life time. And I think this is the key for me. I think, you know how people talk about all the time that by the way, I'm going to shut up a second. If anyone else wants to talk, by all means, just jump in. Like I see Kay's hand up, but like, don't feel like I don't want to, Kay, did you want to say something too, sweetie?
I just think that this changes with time. I mean, the things that were important to me when I was younger are different than the things that are important to me now. And I think, did you remember the book Passages?
Yeah, I totally remember that. I've thought about it also. It's in my work also. I'm working on.
And I think as you go through those passages,
so
different things
hold that one
become
second.
important.
So passages are, our lives are not so much our age, it's we have children, we get married, we have children, the children leave, we retire. It's passages in life. You might retire at 40 and you might retire at 60, but you're going through the same passage. So that's what the book Passages is basically about. So go on, Kay. Kay's muted. Okay, Kay's going to stay muted. All right.
I said,
Oh.
when you go through these transitions or passages, and it's like, I've come to the conclusion every 10 years, some body part doesn't work like it used to. And it's called aging. And when you get enough body parts that don't work and you can't fix them, like at 40, it was glasses. and at 50, it was like, I can't lose weight anymore. And it's really, really super hard. And at 60, it was, I don't know, my hair was thinning, and at 70, it's like, it's muscles and joints. And it's like, you don't have the energy you had before. And the loss of my energy, I am grieving. So there's stages of grief you go through as this happens. There's lots of changes that both physically and mentally you go through. And I think that the hard work is accepting it and being grateful.
Yep. I agree with you so much, Kay. I was holding my grandson, not last night, the night before, and I literally went down to them like, babies and grandparents move slower, and that's a good match. It just is. Little babies, once they're mobile, that's a different match. It's back to the parent match. I do believe there's a passage portion of this also. I think in this work, there's also what I call a 9-year effect. It's a 10-year effect, but it happens in the 9 years. So people always think that they evaluate their lives at 40, 50, 60, but really I see everybody evaluating their lives at 29, 39, 49, 59 as they're facing the O year. So it's like facing the O year. When I was 29, I ran a marathon. Anybody who's ever met me knows me intimately, knows that this is not my gig. It's not, but I was like, oh, I'm not turning 30. In my head, I didn't, but after turning 30, I looked back and was like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not marathon girl. But I did it. But there's that also. The thing that I find interesting, because I agree with passages, and I see younger people asking more interesting questions at a younger age, which I haven't seen before. Prior to this, in our generation, okay, yours and ours, mine, it was always passages very much defined the questions that we asked. But now I see the younger generation asking these interesting questions and asking them at a younger age. And now I'm like, okay, there is a definite, there's a social something going, a social undercurrent. There's a social undercurrent going on dealing with this.
I think it's socioeconomic too.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why I was wondering, because it seems, and everybody I'm talking to, no matter the age group, we're all sort of struggling with it. And if I look back, I probably was when I was younger either. Also, I just didn't know, maybe, I don't know. But I'm wondering if COVID isn't what, like literally running the entire world under lockdown. We've never seen that in our lives. Our parents never saw it. The flu of 1918, maybe saw it, maybe. But that was coming right out of World War I and straight into that. So they were dealing with that also. Because trauma will definitely do identity work also. Anyway, the thing that I'm running into now, which I find very interesting, is once you strip everything down and down to I am enough, or I am whatever your happen to I am comes up with, then in order to keep it from just navel contemplation, it becomes, okay, now what? Now that we strip it all the way down, now what? Because I think that, and that's where I'm working on right now in this, I think that it's really, people talk about balance in their lives. And I've done it also. I'm like, my life is not balanced. My life is not balanced. And I thought that the balance was time with work, time with family. I thought that was the classic balance thing, or maybe time to take care of myself, right? But something along those lines, that I thought that was the out of balance thing. What was like I looked at it like a seesaw of time with family, time with self. But what I'm realizing, in order to have balance, the time issue is not between family and work and all that. The time is time alone to think and process, and then time with people to take it back. So if working on identity work is either going up on a mountain or going down in the valley, however it is you want to look at it, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use the mountain analogy. If it's going up on top of the mountain to spend some time and to process and to think and to figure some things out about what all this is and what does it mean, then once I get something, I got to go back down the mountain again to be able to share and to be able to do something with it. Because if I just stay on top of the mountain, what a waste of life that is. I mean, that doesn't seem like how I want to live a life, or how I think human beings should live. And I also, so I believe that you got to spend time up and time down on the mountain. You got to go figure things out, and then you got to bring it back down, and you got to interact with people again, because the lessons that you learn in community are very different lessons than you learn on top of the mountain. And that part's good also. And then once we do, if we could take that I believe the world will change. That's the question that was asked me. How do you believe the world will change? Now, do I really believe it will change completely? No, but I believe that we can change the world if people understood their value and worth, and the things that they love and enjoy, and can go do that work. Because that would mean that the government employee who's an a-hole that I go see would actually be somebody who loves what they're doing and would have so much value and worth that they wanted to give back. Or the CEO that runs the big, huge company would not want to rape, pillage, and plunder the earth, because he would have value and worth, and he would understand about longevity in business and would want to lift up workers. Or, you know, whatever, the person on the farm would love plowing because that's what they love doing, you know, and they're feeding the world. So I believe it's that important to work. All right, you guys, thoughts, anything?
This was a great exercise, especially since Sunday is going to be my vision day.
Yeah. Go ahead, Craig.
Oh, no, I was just listening.
I thank you for that. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. I really am, because it really made me realize what I was about, part of what my patterns were in life. And once I know my patterns, then I can choose to stay in that pattern. I can choose to break that pattern, or I can choose to use that pattern for good, if that is a pattern that gives me energy and I like it. And so I can use mine for good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you start to realize your patterns, does it take a while for stuff to come back to you naturally when you're doing what you love? Or, I mean, any thoughts on that, on timing and patience?
When you mean stuff to come back to you, tell me what you mean by that. Help me out with that.
Well, it's like, you know, you start a new career in real estate, and you get your spiel down, and you're practicing it, and people get real interested, but nothing comes back to you to do. Maybe that's too concrete an answer, an ask, but
perfect. It's perfect. It's the great hockey stick of success. It's the stupid flippin' hockey stick. And what it looks like, and it's so dang hard because we want to quit. The hockey stick goes, let me see, from our point of view, it goes like nothing, 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 bam. And that's what success looks like. And there's study after study after study. People think success looks like this. It doesn't. It looks like this, and then up. And right here, everybody I know, including myself, want to quit, because we're just like, I'm flipping done with this. I just keep on doing. I don't see it. 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 And that is when I'm like, and I know this because I know intellectually how this works. I still have the feelings there of it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And when I've talked to Gary a bunch of times when I've had these lulls, and I'm like, and Gary is like, you have to keep on swinging the bat. You know that. And so I'll come to him on occasion, like, Gary, I haven't brought anybody in. I haven't brought anybody in 2 months, Gary. Like, I'm still doing all the same work and it's not working, Gary. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And he goes, yeah, but you're swinging the bat every day. Cause I'm like, I'm a failure. And he's like, no, you're swinging the bat every day. You keep on swinging the bat. You keep on doing it. And I promise you it will work. And it always does. But there's that little stretch in there when it's a double down and keep on going. Have you experienced that anywhere? Has anyone here experienced that anywhere in their lives also? Can you share during that last little bit what you do or what you feel or what's going on before it finally?
Yeah.
You crack me up. Yep. Yep.
And then, I find myself sometimes quitting before, right before I strike gold.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't tell you how many times in my first office in Washington State, I wasn't the team leader. I was chair of education and then growth and communication, all that kind of stuff. I chaired like everything there. Anyway, because we didn't have a team leader for 9 months, I think. Anyway, people would come in, they would join the company, new, they would work and they would do all kinds of stuff. And then they would leave and then the phones would start ringing. Hey, is Susie there? Susie doesn't work here anymore. Susie left the industry. Can I help you with something? Ah, because they quit right before.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part right there. It really is. And yeah, it just is. So keep on hitting the bat. Hone what it is you're doing. Like we worked with Laura yesterday when Laura said, look, this is what I'm running into. Oh, cool. Now we know what to work on. Now we know what to change. So 4.5 months for me of cold calling, 20 conversations a day, 0 appointments out of it, pulling my hair out, going crazy. And then I finally learned what an objection handler was. And I put together my objection book and I started handling my objections. And then I got 10 flipping listings in 1 month and became listing agent of the month. And then I was listing agent of the month every month after that. I never was not listing agent of the month. I got it so much that I finally, because I had like, they gave you an award every single month and I was just collecting them. And I'm like, you probably should just excuse me from the competition thingy that you guys do every month. Like let somebody else win. Because I don't know, 18 months straight of, that's plenty of awards, but it was every single month. But it was really hard during that 4.5 months. And I can't tell you how many times I went into my Linda, who's my dear friend still up in Washington State, my team leader way back when I first started. And I go in her office and I'm like, it's not working. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm talking to 20 people a day. So I'm saying, she's like, put your head down, keep doing it. I promise you it'll work. Put your head down, keep doing it. Promise you it'll work. And I had to just, oh, bam. Underneath the fear of risking it all to bet on yourself is trust. It's underneath it. And I realize, thank you for this conversation, Cakes. You just helped me put this part together too. I trusted Linda because she'd done it before and she'd been wildly successful at it. So I just trusted her. And there was a humbling to the process, which was very hard for me to humble myself and submit. I had to submit to the process. And it was hard for me to submit. In my life, it's been hard to submit, period. I mean, it just has been, it's been really hard for me to do that. So I had to humble myself and submit. And the only way I could do it was, and I did with Brian too, who's my coach, was I had to go in my head. I had to go, these people know more than you do, and you have to just trust them. You just have to, and you got to submit to the process. You cannot do this your way, because your way, I already tried it for 2 years. Your way ain't getting you where you want to go. It's not. And so I looked at people that succeeded and I said, okay, how can I not reinvent the wheel? Because in my life, I was a wheel inventor. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. Somebody's got a wheel that works. I'm going to figure out what wheel it is that I like, and it works really well. I'm going to do their wheel. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to copy their wheel. And then I just had to keep on doing it. It's proving success. I knew it would work. So it was right there though, in that last little bit of hockey stick. That was really, really hard. Is that helpful at all, Kay?
Yes, and what Craig said about quitting right before you're successful, although many times I've quit and moved on and then things fell apart. I don't think it was because of me, but I got out just in time. So it's kind of
That's different.
figuring out that balance.
That's different. And I think that the difference is here, and maybe I'm wrong. So I did accounting many times in a past life, and I could see between the personalities, what was going on, the decisions that were being made, and the accounting, those three things, which are three like pretty damn rock solid, litmuses of whether a company's going to make it or not. And I could see the company was going to go down. I could see it with everything. And then they wouldn't listen when I'm like, you're going down, dang it, knock it off. They wouldn't listen because I'm just the accountant, right? Who am I, right? And I would leave and the company would fold. And that has happened over and over and over and over. I feel like that's very different than betting on myself.
Yeah, I never bet on myself before. I never was in business with myself. I mean, I went one time and I did some marketing stuff and, I had lots of clients, but I wasn't getting paid. And so I quit. And, even with finding my brokers, if things didn't go right and I didn't think they were providing the service, I quit and I left. And now I found you. So some of that I think is good.
Yeah, exactly. Before I joined Keller Williams, which was where I met Linda, who is still my dear friend, I had two other brokerages before. They both lied, and I can't work. A broker's supposed to be like ethical, and I'm like, and you're not. And they didn't do the things that they said that they would do. And I refuse to align myself up with that in business. I just refuse to align myself up with that. If my person above me that I am going to be in leadership and working with does not have ethical standards, I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. You're taking a train, a direction I don't want to go. So that's different. And then when I met with Linda, that's why I stayed with Keller Williams for so long, because I just adored Linda and I adored the leadership. And then I was the leadership as team leader, blah, 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 blah. And then I bounced to a boutique. I was on my own. And then when Gary called me, that's why it was so easy, because I knew he was the right who. Because I know, and part of it, I'm really lucky because I've known Gary since 2011. And he's just rock solid, good people. And even if Gary made some grotesque mistakes, really did some stupid stuff, which is not in his character, but even if he did, because of who he is, I would still stay with him, because he would be making that mistake out of not maliciousness. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a deliberate malicious thing. It would be an accident. Human beings have accidents. That's what we do on occasion. That's okay. I would still stay with him because he's the right who. So I know that he has my back. And I know that because of that, I can do, like, I can jump on the trampoline, like, or swing on the trapeze bar, because I know that he has a net underneath me of some sort. He has my back, and I can swing really high with that.
Yeah, I think as I matured, and I learned about myself, and I learned about energy and other people's energy, and how to attract, how your energy attracts people. Other people. So if you're putting out positivity, you're going to get positivity. If you're putting out good things in the atmosphere, you're going to get good things back, and you're going to attract those type of people. And I was never an avid reader, and then about 8 years ago, I turned the TV off. It'll be 8 years this month. I turned the TV off. I don't watch TV. I used to watch sports every time they were on TV. Now I hardly ever even watch a sports game. And I read a quote that was life-changing for me. And it's an old African proverb that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that was just life-changing for me. And I noticed it throughout my life ever since I read it. Whenever I'm looking for something, it appears. that person will appear with the answer, whether I receive it or not. Whether I know it, I'm looking for it or not. When you called me, Gina, I didn't know that I was looking for a team, but after I talked to you, I knew that I needed a team. You know, and just talking to you, you know, it was so eye-opening, and I learned so much in that brief conversation. And I remember you saying, you know, I said, well, let me think about it. And you said, well, what is there to think about? You know, and that was big, you know. So I really take that to heart.
Can I turn that back towards you?
Sure.
You just said some really interesting things that I completely agree with about energy and attracting, and when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it strikes me that in my life, when I have not, out of fear, not, which is underneath this self-worth and value, not stepped out in bravery and said the things that I really wanted to say, do, be, that maybe there have been people that needed to hear something that because I was operating less than, instead of standing, it feels like when I strip the identity that I stand fullness into me. That's what it feels like. It feels like I stand confidently and fully into me, that maybe there were people around me that I could have helped, but I didn't out of fear. And I could have attracted to me because of my energy, but I didn't out of fear. And that maybe there were lessons to be learned on both sides, and I didn't out of fear. And shame on me for being so flippant, self-centered. Instead of looking out, I was looking inward in a bad way, in a condemning way, actually, to not help. And the other thing that comes to my mind is a quote that blew my brains wide open when I went to the last EXP thing in Orlando. And it was, I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who you think I am. And in that situation, when I didn't act in my fullness, that quote was true. And now I need to play with that concept to see if that quote is true when I am standing in my fullness of who I am. Maybe it's not as much. I don't know. I need to think about it. Because also my construct of the world will be my filter that I look through, which will affect my behavior and my actions and my thoughts. That's just the way that it works. But shame on me for not standing in my fullness of who I am, so that maybe there could have been somebody else that I could have helped. When all I want to do, the way that I'm wired, I just want to help people. That's all I have. I always want to do that. That's what I love. I love helping. I like being helped. I like learning and growing and all that kind of stuff. So maybe, Mr. Craig, you need to stand also in your firmness and in your confidence and in your value and your worth, and be authentic and true and real, and help who needs our help.
Yeah, you're right. You know, it's like stripping naked and running through the streets, no matter how you feel about your body, and being confident.
It's true. It's very true. And it does feel very much like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that feels vulnerable, right? Or the thoughts
Yeah.
around, yeah. And there's no place braver to be than a vulnerable place, because when you're in a vulnerable place and you stand anyway, you're saying, you know what, you could take every pot shot in the world at me and I'm still going to stand here. And just like that punching bag that we used to have as little kids that you blew up and you could hit and it would pop back up again. I don't have to, you can hit me. I just have to pop back up again. And you can hit me. I am going to pop up more times than you hit me. And eventually you're going to get tired of hitting me, because I'm just going to keep on popping up. And I'd rather be in a vulnerable place and authentic and real than in a not place of that's sheltered, so that you can't take pot shots at me. And then what I find is the more real I am, and the more authentic I am, the less people want to take pot shots at me. Now, does everybody like me? No, some people don't, and that's okay. I don't like them, but I still would rather be authentic and real and true about the whole thing. I really would. And then if you don't like me, you don't like me. It's okay.
Yeah.
You have some other work to do. That's okay too. I wish you all the best. That's all.
Yep.
Yep. So I personally am going to work my socks off on remembering when I feel unsure, because I think somebody might be thinking something about me that like thinking it, like looking down on me for some reason, like I'm feeling condemned for some reason. I'm going to work on remembering I am enough. That's my work that I'm going to do. Maybe I'll get a bracelet or something. I don't know, but I want to keep that in front of me. I am enough. So that's what I choose to do. And then I'm going to keep on talking about being brave to other people and see if we can't change the world. Because I think that would be a cool thing.
I think I'm gonna get it up on a tattoo.
Yeah, I don't have any tattoos, and my husband is like so opposed to them. And I used to be also, I'm not anymore. I'm just not.
I have one.
Do you?
Yeah, I have one that I got at a farmer's market when I was in the military, right?
Uh-huh.
In Dover, Delaware. So, I mean, it's horrible. And I've always wanted another one. I'm not a tattoo guy either, but I've always wanted another one, but I wanted one with meaning. And I like that. I am enough.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I always wanted, I told my husband I wanted the narwhal, just a little tiny one right here. And then my friend, who's a tattoo artist, like a really, I don't know, I know a couple of them that are like semi-famous in that world, whatever. Like you can't do a tattoo here, it'll never last. I'm like, but I want it there because I see that all the time. I was like, why a narwhal? And I'm like, because it's a unicorn and it's different and it's a real unicorn. And it's magically wonderful, different, and it's real. And there's just a lot around that about being magically, wonderfully different and real. Like I like that. But my husband is like, please don't do anything to your body. I love your body plain the way it is. You know what I mean? I like that. So I don't out of love and respect for him also. But I like I am enough. I really do. I really do. I just, that's been really ringing true to me. So, all right. Any other things that anyone wants to add into this conversation? Nope. Okay, then I just send you all out into the world. I hereby knight you. Okay, unmuted.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, then I hereby knight you enough. Go out in the world and go make the world a wonderful place, because you are enough.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Craig, thank you. Thank you. You're brave and wonderful, and we couldn't have done this without you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Can we get a recording of the part I missed?
Yeah, it's always going to be up on YouTube on Wealth Determiners. It'll be up some point later today. Ava always pops it up there. So just look for today's date.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome,
Okay.
sweetie. Bye, y'all.
Hey,
Bye.
I'll send you a message in the group today, okay?
Okay, super. Thank you.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.